Good morning, one and all. My sore throat continues, but it's not debilitating, so I'm happy enough to come out and make a little video. Though I continue to be in my gym jams and coughing a little bit, but I'm wrapped up warm. I do think actually when you have a cold or an infection, if you can get out and get some fresh air, that's very good for you. It also just helps to, what do I want to say? I think I'm probably a little bit drugged up on massive doses of vitamin C. And I have taken some aspirin as well. So, just dispersible aspirin. I just mix that in with the vitamin C drink. It's actually very good, especially if you gargle, with soluble aspirin. That can really help the throat. So I'm wrapped up really warm. I've got 2 shawls on me. I've got some lovely little bed socks as well. And Jack's very happy just to get out for a wee run. He won't actually come out for a little run himself. He'll only really go with me. Jack, come on. So, it's a beautiful day, as you can see. There's some lovely blue sky there, just between the V in the ash tree. Just focus in on that. That's lovely, look at that now. Beautiful. Like a few big swathes of blue there. It's fairly quiet here during the winter months, You don't get that wonderful chorus of birdsong that you get in the spring and the early summer. You do get to see quite a few little birds, especially the robins and the thrush and the blackbird. But all in all, they keep a fairly low profile. I suppose they don't kind of fly around as much because they haven't got the energy reserves. Do you know, reading that magazine last night, well, not reading it, just looking at it and skim reading bits of it. Absolutely crazy. And then I was reading your comments that you posted underneath, and I must say, I think there's a common agreement that these celeb magazines and the whole celeb culture, it's incredibly manufactured, It's not something that has grown out of public interest, should we say. It is manufactured. And I know I'm talking now just to UK and Ireland viewers of Bealtaine Cottage now at the moment, but you will be aware that the same images are coming up all the time. So you have a few celebs who, it's almost as though they own those magazines or something, but their pictures are there every single week. So you have Jordan and her ex-husband and Pete, whatever he's called, Peter something or other. You have those same images just coming up time and time again. And what it's led to is almost like a normalization of that kind of lifestyle for people who are reading about that or looking at the pictures, and especially younger, more easily influenced people, you know, girls in particular. So I think someone wrote a comment last night on the video. It was a very destructive of culture thing happening, you know, with this celeb culture. And it's very true. Now, excuse me for rambling a wee bit. I'm not completely 100% in control of my mind this morning. Am I ever? But, oh, do you know something? It's just so lovely just to get out and just to breathe. Because you know what happens when you go into nature like this? You breathe much deeper. And that is very healing. Beautiful. So, there's something happening now this weekend which you should all be very aware of. And that is the full moon. And the full moon on Sunday night. And I did mention it on the previous video. But the full moon on Sunday night is actually a supermoon. So it will have a very powerful influence, and especially on women, because we are governed by the moon. Very much so. And as I said in my previous video, you know the reasons why that is? I'll just go through this way. Sorry, if you hear me deep breathing here, I'm actually doing it deliberately, just in order to fill my lungs with beautiful fresh air. So I should probably, seeing as I'm sort of housebound today, I should probably get my sewing machine rigged up, because I can't actually physically stay in bed. I think mentally I'll be in bed all day, in terms of just, you know, looking after myself. But physically, of course, I find it very difficult. So I shall probably get my sewing machine rigged up and sew the little curtains from my built-in wardrobe in the bedroom. Because there's quite a few little tasks that are just building up. Now there's the little robin, you see, look. Let me see if I can get a close-up. Where? Oh, you see his a little worm or something there. Little insect. Beautiful. Feels very calm today. This quite often is the way, you know, before a full moon. There's a beautiful calm seems to descend. Now I'm just standing here and I can feel the warmth of the sun on the back of my head. So that's very healing too. I think I shall turn round and just open my mouth up really wide to the sun. Now, a little bit of vitamin D in there. It's funny, isn't it, when you have an infection like this. Now, where's that fella gone? Oh, there he is. I'm not going to go down to the bottom of the driveway, not in my gym jams. Jack! Jack, come on, up you come. See how colourful it still is? Because today's the 1st of December, so there's 20 days to go until the midwinter. Isn't that amazing? So we continue on the descent towards midwinter. And then, within about 3 days of the solstice, so that's sort of 1.5 days either side really, you have the ascent beginning, as we ascend towards the light. And when you think of it like that, then this becomes a very precious time of the year. And it's very precious because that slowness, that slowing down, that darkness, that you should be abed sort of energy is continuing for the next 20 days. And then after that, the energy starts to rise as the sun begins to climb higher and higher in the sky each day. And so that beautiful miracle of light begins again. Now, someone was asking me about where they can get information on the Celtic Calendar. Well, the Celtic Calendar, in very simplistic terms, can be divided into 2 parts to begin with. Like you're cutting up a piece of cake. Okay, so the first cut is you're going to halve the cake. Jack! Jack! Now that's an improvement because I couldn't even whistle this morning. If you had heard me, you'd have been laughing. So the first and simplest way of looking at the Celtic calendar is that the Celts divided the year into darkness and light. So the darkness began at Samhain. Samhain, that's Samhain, and it's pronounced Samhain. So, for those of you who don't know the date of Samhain, it has been modernised into what I think is sometimes a disgraceful interpretation. It's been modernised into Halloween. So these are key words that I'm giving you now for those of you who are interested in the Celtic calendar. You can then research these words and they will lead you to more information. So you have Samhain, and that's when the dark half of the year begins. Samhain translates roughly into what is summer's end. So that gives you a clue as to when the other half of the year begins. And I'll give you another clue. I'm looking at it now. So the other half of the year begins at Bealtaine. And Bealtaine is the first day of May. So you have Bealtaine, which is spelled Bealtaine. Some people pronounce it Bealtaine, and that's all right. Pronounce it whatever way you want. I don't really approve of people who are sort of pronunciation fascists. Say no, it's pronounced like this. So we have Bealtaine and we have Samhain. So Bealtaine is the beginning of summer, Samhain's the beginning of winter. And of course that makes sense, because midwinter is the 21st of December, Midsummer is the 21st of June. So that's the beginning of the Celtic calendar, for those of you who wish to know. Then, it's kind of subdivided then into festivals. So we have the festival of Bealtaine and we have the festival of Samhain. But in between, we have Immock. And Immock, which translates, again very roughly, as ewe's milk. And a ewe, of course, is a female sheep, ewe's milk. So the first ewe's milk, Immock, happens on the 1st of February. And that is the first day of spring. And then on the other side of Immock, you have Lunasa. And Lunasa begins on the first day of August, and that is, of course, the first day of autumn. So you have, and I'll begin now just throughout the year, you have starting in February the 1st Immock, May the 1st Bealtaine, August the 1st Lunasa, which is spelt, by the way, L-U-G-H, as in the ancient god Lu, Nasa, N-A-S-A-D-H, Lunasa. So Lunasa then the first day of August, and then Samhain the first day of November. So there you have it. You have those keywords that you can then go and put into your search engines and find lots of information about. Now this is interesting. I've just seen something. Someone was asking me about little mushrooms, and I said, well, you don't normally get them at this time of year, but you get the occasional one in what's called a microclimate. And this is a little microclimate here, and I'll tell you in a moment why it's a microclimate. See if I can get focused in on this. Where am I looking? Where am I looking now? There we go. Okay, so you can see that beautiful little mushroom there. Step off a wee bit and focus it. And that's a microclimate because just underneath the stones which are there is the waste pipe from the cottage, which carries mainly hot water through it from the cottage over there through to what is, or what was, the septic tank down there. It's now, of course, just a grey water tank. There's a beautiful close-up now of that pampas grass flower. Seed head, really. See, it's hidden in there. You only get to see it at this time of year. So, just looking as well at these beautiful, beautiful rose hips. Absolutely gorgeous rose hips. They're lovely. Now I've picked all the rose hips from the rose which grows along the trellis over there. Just see the sunlight coming through there. A few little berries left in the cotoneaster. Well, I think I'll go back indoors now and make myself a nice cup of what my mother used to call Rosie Lee, which I think is rhyming slang for tea. And there's a little fella through there. I don't know what he's doing. What are you doing there, Jack? You eating a wee bit of grass? I think he was, yeah. Yeah. He knows exactly which grass to go and eat in order to kind of sick up whatever it is the dogs sick up. It's something to do with their stomach and digestive system and stuff like that. Oh, no. A beautiful morning. A beautiful morning. Now a package has arrived for me, and I think it's from New Zealand, because I did get a little letter about that. So I'm going to open the package, if not later on, then tomorrow. Because now what I'm going to do, I'm going to go in, make some tea, and climb back into bed and upload this little video. And Jack's going to come with me, aren't you, Jack? Yeah, he says I am. I'll come in and sit with you, Mum. You won't be on your own. Oh, what a fair bit of tidying up I have to do when I start to feel a bit better. Don't be looking at my reflection here in the door, because my hair is all over the place. I look like a scarecrow, but never mind. No. And I have the radio on in this very untidy sitting room. Anyway, have a lovely day, everybody. Blessings to you all. Bye-bye.